right, thank you, Brian. What a thriller. Welcome to Tucson as Arizona, the number 9 team of the country, just underway against Stanford. Aaron Goldsmith alongside Steve Lavin as Stanford tries to get a rare win against Arizona. They've lost their last 14 against the Wildcats. Marketing from the corner, and Humphrey gets the rebound.
Stanford electing to come out in a zone defense on their initial possession, trying to keep the Cats in front and protect the basket area with that zone.
Allen puts on the brakes. Trier made his season debut in Westwood against UCLA. Here's a turnover and a block.
Good anticipation there by Allen, reading the eyes of the passer and jumping into the passing lane for that interception. Good quickness.
For Stanford, coming off one of their best shooting performances of the season. And a nice start for Dorian Pickens, a junior out of Phoenix, with a 3 early.
And I like the catch, aggressively putting his eyes on the rim and launching from long distance.
Ristich with Humphrey right behind him. Cross court to Trier, launches a 3. And it stays with Arizona.
Well,
Pickens, the second leading scorer.
Yeah, at times Pickens is not aggressive enough on his catches, but here in rhythm, takes the ball straight up and into his shooting motion. Good release, good flexion in the wrist.
Last 3 road games, Pickens averaging fewer than 5 points. They need more from that, as you were mentioning, Lav, from their second leading scorer, as this again stays with Arizona.
And don't be surprised if Stanford doesn't go back to Pickens on the next possession. Little NBA flavor, play through the hot hand as we take a look at Sean Miller, who's hit all the right notes this year with the Wildcats.
Miller 13-0 all-time against Stanford. Trier brings it up top. Ristich having a fine season. With the right hand, Ronnie Alkins, who's been such a force on the offensive glass, draws it back.
Well, against that zone defense, one of the vulnerabilities of a zone is you don't have pinpointed man-to-man responsibilities. So second shot opportunities will be there as you see Alkins using the length to be able to secure that rebound.
Fresh 30 seconds as they feed Ristich once again. Back with the right hand, and nothing falling early on.
Well, good resistance there down low in the post. It's an active zone defense Stanford has employed here, moving their feet, active hands, talking, tied together in their slides. Again, trying to take away the lane or the basket area against this taller Cat team.
Travis almost loses it. Lowers his shoulder, pulls up. And it falls to Markkanen. One of the stories for Arizona lately, Markkanen not his usual self. Just 2 for his last 11, spanning the last 2 games. He's one of the best shooters in the conference.
Right, he's one of those players that needs to be more aggressive on his offensive catches as well. Similar to what we were saying about Dorian Pickens. That shot just whistled over the rim.
Cartwright, quick feed to Travis. Tough angle, pivots. Humphrey with 2 hands.
With authority, second shot opportunity. Humphrey climbing the ladder there, a little chin up on the rim early here in McHale.
7-0 start for Stanford. Trier steps back and gets the Wildcats on the board.
Arizona will need to make shots in the perimeter with the way Jared Haas has deployed the Cardinal defense tonight. Everyone with a foot in the lane.
Travis takes it to the rim with the left hand. He's got 4 of the first 9 for Stanford.
That's a good area for Travis to get a catch right there at the elbow where he drove Ristich off the bounce. Slow helper rotation by Arizona.
Quick ball movement. Trier, his second 3 try. This time he gets it. Stanford 9, Alonzo Trier 5 as he makes his first start of the season. Robert Cartwright coming off a fine outing on Saturday against Utah. 14 points, 5 assists. Pickens all the way, almost uncontested.
Well, from the same area of the floor, the elbow catch and the drive, using the bounce to navigate to the rim.
Now we talked about the local connections. Humphrey and Pickens both from not too far away in Phoenix. And how about a start for these two young men?
Well, Humphrey with authority, and then Pickens sees the lane. Why not? Off the window, an old-fashioned layup. Timeout.
This year for Humphrey, it's been a little up, a little down in terms of the scoring, coming off 5 points versus Utah, but Michael Humphrey with some authority early on.
Yeah, flashes of brilliance through his career on the farm with the Stanford Cardinal. Here, using that length, that athleticism, full extension to jam it back home as we take a look at his parents, Tim and Kim Humphrey.
To have them in the house. Of course, Sean Miller coming us today's shoot-around that Michael Humphrey's someone that he really coveted. He wanted Humphrey to come here to Tucson, but as we've heard many coaches around the country say, there's something about that Stanford education, among other things, that makes that an awfully appealing place to go.
It really has the full package. The academics, obviously, that pedigree, but even the social life, the beautiful campus, a tremendous athletic program with great heritage. Tough to beat Stanford.
Arizona's come out ice cold so far. Comanche on the floor now. Kicks into the corner. They swing it around. Parker Jackson, Cartwright. Quick ball movement by the Wildcats. Kobe Simmons, his first shot. Simmons, the usual starter, coming off the bench with Alonzo Trier making his first start of the season here tonight.
Simmons, a dynamic athlete out of Atlanta.
McDonald's All-American. Tricky pass handled by Ray Travis. No foul called. Going the other way.
Good ball movement here. That one more pass. Allen with the drive and precise delivery right into Simmons' wheelhouse, where he could take the ball right up and splash one through the net.
Simmons just 3 for his last 13 from downtown. Before that, made 3. Marketed with a 3-try of his own. Well short. Don't see that too often. Travis gets it stripped. Simmons trying to find the handle, and Travis gets it right back. And as we say that, here's PJC. In transition, Marketed. You saw him taking those from almost half court during shoot-around today. Yeah, and making them.
Yeah, tremendous range for a 7-footer.
Cartwright looking for Travis backdoor instead to Allen. Tuck in, finishing.
Allen exhibiting that speed. A little change of pace. Shifted gears right to the cup for the easy deuce.
Simmons, same spot, different result this time. Ran for Hooven on the floor now for Stanford.
Allen, the ability to find the hole right into the teeth of Arizona's defense, and then elevates and able to finish.
13-8 Stanford early on. The Cardinals is 4-7 in conference play, coming off a win at Utah. Meanwhile, on Saturday, Arizona, a 27-point loss in Eugene against Dana Altman's Ducks. What was one of the, if not the most highly anticipated game of the conference this year. First conference loss for Arizona this season. Snapped a 15-game winning streak. Pickens. Ristich fighting for it. Arizona ball.
Yeah, Pickens on that shot didn't get his feet organized. Subsequently shot an off-balance shot as we look at Jared Haas.
1997 Sweet 16. Last game of his career against Arizona, as it turns out.
Tremendous pedigree when you look at Jared Haas. Played at Cal Berkeley, played at Kansas. Longtime assistant under Roy Williams at both Kansas and Carolina. And Coach Haas has the blueprint to build this Stanford program back to national prominence, it begins with recruiting. And of course, when you're a part of Kansas and North Carolina's basketball program, you understand the lifeblood of a program is talent, acquiring personnel. So his staff is hard at work recruiting.
Trier with 4 to shoot. 8 points early for Alonzo Trier, a couple of threes. Arizona now within 2. Marcus Sheffield seeing the floor for the first time tonight for Stanford as Trier picks the pocket of Pickens. Ristich running the point, the 7-footer. Simmons trailing, hanging, finishing. All tied at 13. Verhoeven, a rare 3. Rings out. Humphrey, a fresh 30. Sheffield taking on Trier. Off the mark. Verhoeven trying to follow, but it's Ristich. Jackson Cartwright to Trier. Slashing with the left hand. They go to the line. Alonzo Trier, the sophomore out of Seattle, making his first start this season.
That's why he was a first-team All-American in the preseason, a Pac-12 Player of the Year candidate. Starting to feel it. And here's the young fella, the neophyte, Simmons, down the lane. Nice runner. Timeout.
In Eugene, Oregon, number 5 Arizona, number 13 Oregon. And it was the Flying Ducks to end the 15-game winning streak for Arizona. Tyler Dorsey, 23 points. Dylan Brooks, another 18, including this 3. 85-58, pretty solemn Arizona bench. And you can see a lot of notes here. This was a train wreck of a loss for Arizona. And for Sean Miller, largest margin of defeat under Sean Miller since his 12th game here with the Wildcats. Largest loss by a team on a winning streak of at least 15 since '99 is Sean Miller. Well, I'll tell you what, Lav, when the other team starts off 15 for 20 from three-point land, that makes things awfully tough, doesn't it?
Well, and Sean Miller has coached long enough. He comes from a basketball family. He's been in this business at the highest level for decades. And so he understands in the course of a season, there'll be games where you're not at your best. And when you face an opponent who's at their best, as the Oregon Ducks were, you'll have a disparity, in particular when playing on the road in a hostile environment, like a 25-point loss. You don't panic, you don't overreact, you learn from it, and you move forward.
Christian Sanders running the point now for Stanford with 9 to shoot. Humphrey, baseline jumper, got it.
Now, Stanford has been sharp offensively and very active defensively in terms of helping one another, trying to keep Arizona in front, limiting dribble penetration.
That snaps about a 2.5-minute scoreless drought for the Cardinals. Hawkins almost lost it. With 6 to shoot, Hawkins hits for shot try, and he buries a 3. Earlier this season versus Stanford, Hawkins, a season high 19 points and 7 boards.
The 3 freshmen all bring something different or unique to the table. That's why they're so productive as a trio.
Sheffield, tough 3 in the corner. Humphrey going for the loose ball, and he comes up another 2-hand slam.
Well, mom and dad are going to have to show up to more ball games to watch their son. Humphrey going to work on the glass.
Hawkins wants another 3. Easy rebound for Humphrey. Sheffield taking on Hawkins, and an offensive foul. Little armbar there.
Humphrey's been working down low, fighting for position. And then the tenacity to come up with the loose ball and the length to play over the top, taking it right at the Cats at the rim.
Former Johnny Dawkins recruit, a 6'9" high school quarterback in Phoenix. A late growth spurt. Wide start for Markkanen.
See Stanford just packing the lane, almost like an 8-in-a-box football approach, but in basketball.
Foul on Allen. Now we talked about how dynamic Lauri Markkanen is. You see the first 22 games, averaging nearly 17 a night. His last 2 games, very different. Only 2 made buckets, 2 for 11 against the Oregon schools. Finds one here. Nearly a 50% three-point shooter.
Good execution by the Cats on that baseline out of bounds play.
Allen, a strong take. Hawkins loses it, but it stays with Arizona.
Going back to Markkanen, he's a player that should be taking more than 5.5 shots per game. So you look at that weekend up in Oregon against the Beavers and the Ducks, to only take 11 shots is an issue. Now, it's refreshing that he's unselfish. He doesn't force. He lets the game come to him. But there are times where he has to be more assertive on his catches. They're losing the ball in traffic. And again, Stanford, active feet and active hands. Give them credit defensively. They've been alert and aggressive.
Dorian Pickens returns to the floor for Stanford. Gets a touch on the wing here. Right back to Cartwright. Cartwright made a trio of threes on Saturday against Utah. Pickens falls short of this one. Simmons between the legs and another turnover. Pickens fouled by Markkanen. First foul on Lauri Markkanen, the freshman from Finland.
Well, both teams have been guilty at times of dribbling in traffic. Love the McHale Center faithful. As good a fans as there is in all of college basketball. Having coached in the Big East, in the Big Ten, and the Pac-12, I would rank Arizona's fans as good as it gets when you look at the longevity through Lute Olson's remarkable run, a Hall of Fame career, and now Sean Miller, a seamless transition at the helm. From start to finish, the Wildcat faithful are engaged.
Well, Arizona has led the conference in attendance for over 3 decades now.
Well, Lute Olson built the empire, the pyramids here in the desert, but Sean Miller is building his own legacy.
His first points tonight. Had a double-double, the first of his career on New Year's Day, and a lopsided win for Arizona over Stanford in Maples.
Well, Comanche just continues to improve at each practice and game opportunity. A very intriguing talent out of Southern California. Another capable frontline player that Sean Miller has at his disposal.
Cartwright stepping back on Simmons, and it falls right to Trier.
Arizona trying to push the pace some and beat the Stanford zone down the floor before it gets organized and set up. Three ways to attack a zone. Transition, then on the half court, short corner, high post touches, and also the offensive rebounding at the end of the possession. Second shots.
Well, Arizona began ice cold. They made 5 of their last 6 buckets as we come to you from the desert. Arizona leading Stanford 23-18. On Stanford with 7:21 to play here in the first half. Well, we will be with you tomorrow night. Pac-12 basketball continues right here on FS1 as Markelle Fultz leads the Huskies against Derek White in Colorado. It's all tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern, only on FS1, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. What a season for the freshman, Markelle Fultz. And you know, Lav, if you go back, freshmen becoming eligible to play varsity in the 72-73 season. The only other two freshmen to lead the conference in scoring, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, 95-96, Cliff Robinson, 77-78, and Fultz is showing no signs of slowing things down as we are on the final leg of the regular season.
Well, many NBA brass executives, scouts feel at the end of the day Fultz will be the #1 pick in this year's NBA draft.
That game should be a good one. Went into overtime with the Huskies winning earlier this season in Seattle. Simmons with 3 to shoot, heaves up a deep 3. And a whistle on Humphrey. Yano Pender seeing his first time on the floor.
Again, Pender at 6'9", the luxury of having 5 frontline players gives you 25 fouls to use in terms of a physical smash mouth basketball approach for Sean Miller and company.
Parker to Jackson, has taken only 5 shots his last 4 games, knocks out a 3 here.
Well, with Stanford packing the lane, the quick ball movement and perimeter jump shots will present themselves. That's a trade-off, a pick your poison, and Arizona beginning to light it up from outside.
5 to shoot now. Cartwright off balance. Trier gets a running start and brings it across. Trying to follow it up and a fresh 30 seconds.
Well, Comanche and Pender there both tap the ball like volleyball players, able to keep the ball alive and get the Cats a second shot here and a chance to get deeper into the possession.
Comanche, Pender trying to tap it in, but it's Travis who pulls down the rebound. Early on, first couple of possessions for Stanford, Lab, we saw Travis in the paint. Not quite so much of that as he's now back on the floor.
Yeah, those elbow catches early were effective for Stanford. See if they go back to that. Good area to deploy from in terms of dribble penetration, attacking the front line feet of Arizona.
Under 10 to shoot. Looking for Travis in the paint, now 4 to shoot. Pickens has to put it up, and he does. Kobe Simmons gets bumped. Off the glass, how about that finish?
Well, Jackson Cartwright with an excellent delivery up the sideline. The pass is faster than the bounce when looking to advance the ball, and then Simmons showing some body control, absorbs the hit, still has the presence of mind to keep his eyes riveted on the target, puts it down off the glass. Chance for an old-fashioned three-point play as he steps to the charity stripe.
Either way, if you're Sean Miller, can you go wrong between Trier or in this case Simmons as your 6th man? That's pretty dangerous no matter how you slice it. As tonight we see Trier getting his first start.
Well, and it's so interesting in many respects, even though you wouldn't script it or want a player suspended, the fact that Trier was out early allowed the trio of freshmen here at Arizona to accelerate their maturity, accelerate their development, and now when you put it all back together again, Arizona in position to contend for a national title as a result.
Entry pass to Travis, won't miss from there. He's got 6.
Excellent post feed. Travis finds an easy one.
2 starting bigs have returned to the court for Arizona. Ristich and Markkanen. Hawkins penetrating and kicks. A corner 3 off the mark. PJC made one earlier.
These are big possessions here. Good high-low look between Humphrey and Travis. Travis gathers there, lets the traffic fly by, and then jams one home. And Humphrey showing his playmaking ability. The former high school quarterback. Hand-eye skill is there, Aaron. Textbook. Delivery. That's the weight room finish. Paying off for Travis. Timeout.
An early Stanford lead has evaporated. Arizona up 7. Rob Stone here with you. Coming up at halftime, Casey Jacobson's going to join us. He's going to tell you why this game is the absolute opposite of the way he thought it would play out. Plus, Cal firmly on that NCAA bubble. They're up north in Tempe. We'll check in on how they're doing in Baylor. Losers of 2 straight, guys. They finally got back to their winning ways, but they kept it till late. We'll see you guys at the break.
Now, Rob, that would mean that Casey would be wrong for the first time ever. I can't believe that he had a false prediction. Well, we were talking, Lav, about Kobe Simmons, Alonzo Trier. Trier leading all scorers so far with 10.
Well, Trier with the step back creates some separation or distance with that bounce into the jumper. Here lining one up, a marksman. Soft touch. Again, Simmons from the other side of the floor. And here putting it on the deck, taking it to the rim, which we've seen on multiple occasions, able to finish in traffic. Young fella with a bright future.
And you can see 13 bench points tonight, counted that to nothing for Stanford. But for the Wildcats, ever since Alonzo Trier came back from suspension last 5 games, he's been in double figures each game, Lab, which explains how the bench production has been so much greater the last 5 times out for Sean Miller.
Yeah, Alonzo Trier gives Arizona a greater margin for error in terms of across the board having more balance. What he brings to the court, both offensively and defensively, elevates the Cats' chances of winning deep into the NCAA tournament. He also is a player that Sean Miller can go through in late clock and late game situations. When teams make runs to the Final Four, so often it comes down to having a player, whether it's a guard or a big, who can go to work.
No Markkanen on the floor right now. Pinder, one of the bigs for Arizona. Jump ball. And the possession arrow favors Arizona. Dusan Aristic, second leading scorer. Double figures, 10 of the last 11 games. No points so far here in the first. Hawkins loses it, goes to Stanford.
Good ball pressure by the Cardinal right there along the sideline where that out of bounds line acts as an extra defender. Gives you the opportunity to really press up and take away airspace.
Travis goes right to the rim. Humphrey tries to follow. Here comes Elkins. Elkins awkwardly out of bounds. And to Stanford, Alonzo Trier pleading his case that this should stay with Arizona, and it turns out that it will.
Here's Elkins with the push. 6'5", can see over the top. An awkward shot, release, or a UFO, unidentified flying object.
Thanks for clearing that up, Lav.
We are in the desert. This is where you see them on occasion, too.
Very nice follow-up. Kadeem Allen penetrating. Pretty pass. Hawkins with 5 points.
Kadeem Allen maneuvering off the bounce, not in a rush, playing at the right pace so that he can see the floor, and as a result able to drop that dime. Also slammed on the brakes, good footwork, that jump stop in traffic.
Sanders taking all the way, the senior out of Houston, his first points. Looking around at Kadeem Allen, one of the great perimeter defenders in the conference. Just ask Markelle Fultz. Simmons stepping back. Loose ball, Simmons recovers. Pretty pass, Elkins underneath.
These 3 freshmen, we saw 2 playing in pairs or a tandem there with Simmons and Elkins, but all 3 freshmen play with a great degree of confidence. Unusual poise and swagger for freshmen.
Under 3 minutes here in the first half as Sanders sets it up. Now 9 to shoot. Into the corner, Pickens with 1 second on the shot clock, and Pickens buries it. He's got 9 here in the first half, and his second 3.
Great transport around the horn. Ball reversal, so important to offensive basketball. Ristich with a quick move, draws the foul. There's an example of his footwork. Stanford at the other end, crisp, playing hot potato. Sanders delivers it right into the shooting pocket of Pickens. Smooth stroke.
Speaking of ball movement, Lab, what do you make of this? Arizona assists on 11 of 12 buckets.
Sharing the sugar. This team enjoys the thrill of the pass. They look for one another. That's a trademark of Arizona teams through the years, from Lute Olson to now Sean Miller. His Xavier teams were very cohesive in their approach offensively in terms of working for good shots, and then defensively they're tied together as well in that pack line defense.
Dusan Ristich, the junior out of Serbia, his first points tonight coming from the line.
To this point, Stanford hasn't allowed Arizona to go on one of those runs that we've become accustomed to here at McHale.
Travis scoops up the offensive rebound, puts it in, and it's fouled.
Again, going back to the weight room finish. Travis, vice grip hands, uses that power dribble, gathers, and takes it right up through Ristich and company.
Can't convert the three-point play. Brings Stanford within 6.
Going back to that point, so often when you look at Arizona's success here at McHale, they'll have 2 or 3 runs over the course of a game. It might be 15-2, 13-0. It could be 19-3. They put 2 or 3 of those over the course of the game together, and they've got themselves a blowout. And that's why it's so important that you prevent those runs from happening, Aaron, by taking care of the basketball, getting good shots on the rim, and also getting to the foul line so that they don't have those runs that engage this great home crowd, which becomes their 6th man.
Turnover from Simmons, now under 90 seconds to play here in the first half. Allen rejected on the behind the arc. Kadeem Allen, we were talking about him as one of the great perimeter defenders. We see it right here.
Well, he's a catalyst, brings high energy. We saw him earlier, jump stop in the lane and drop that dime on the interior. And then defensively, he's smothering.
Travis can't get it to fall. Brought down by Comanche, under a minute to play here in the first half.
See if Arizona goes 2 for 1, gets a quick hitter here early in this possession, and then can finish the half with a possession as well. Yikes.
Looking for it at the rim for Comanche.
Well, the idea was a good one. Now Jared Hass will call timeout.
And we'll take a timeout with them. We step aside as Arizona leads Stanford 35-29, under a minute here in the first half. Now on the bench, Lab, we go back to the attempt at the rim a moment ago.
Again, a good idea, but Comanche would have needed a cape, Superman, to go up and get that one.
Sean Miller not pleased.
Really no chink in the armor when you look at Sean Miller. Great motivator, a CEO of this program, a teacher, a tactician. Represents the university in a first-class manner, a great role model. Good
Travis
look.
Doubled up, Allen to the corner. He splashes a 3.
An excellent pass from a tough area along the baseline, tiptoeing. And Stanford continues to answer the bell, Aaron. Not going away.
Under 10 seconds.
Switching all that screening action out front.
Markkanen doesn't draw iron. A frustrating first half for Larry Markkanen. His 3 points. Alonzo Trier getting his first start of the season after the lengthy PED suspension. And how about Stanford coming to the desert is showing up against number 9 Arizona.
Well-devised defense, protecting the rim. Some timely shooting from distance, and they took advantage down low, got themselves to the hoop.
Stay tuned now for the Fox College Hoops halftime with Rob Stone and Casey Jacobson right after these messages. Moments away from the second half here in Tucson. We take a look at our game summary. A close first half, 35-32. Alonzo Trier, the big storyline here tonight. Of course, suspended for the bulk of the season because of PEDs. His 6th game back here today and making his first start in the lineup with double digits in the first half. Welcome courtside here at the McHale Center. Aaron Goldsmith alongside Coach Steve Lavin. And both these two teams don't shoot many three-pointers. For Arizona, the second fewest attempts in the conference. Stanford, the fewest, and yet we've seen a lot of three-pointers. In fact, the three-point attempts we've seen from Arizona in the first half, they're most in any first half this entire season.
Well, quick ball movement. You see the hot potato, Trier torching the nets from distance, catch and shoot opportunities on both sides of the floor for the Wildcats because of the quick ball movement. Stanford's three-point attack set up by post feeds. Inside, then out and around the horn. A nice inside to the corner look there. Allen burying a 3. So Stanford 20-8 in terms of points in the paint against this Arizona team. Well-devised offensive schemes, and defensively, their zone being packed in the lane has allowed them to stay within distance of the Wildcats.
Well, three-point defense is a problem for Arizona and Eugene on Saturday. Ducks making 15 of the first 20. They made 16 overall from behind the arc. Allen off balance and a whistle drawing a foul in the paint.
You have to credit Jared Haas and his staff in terms of game planning. It's clear from watching game film and in preparation, they wanted to be able to attack Arizona off the feet, off the bounce, attacking their feet. And that's been effective for them this evening.
Marcus Allen, the senior out of Las Vegas. Born in Phoenix, but high school in Las Vegas. Gets them both.
Now we see full court pressure. 1-2-2. Three-quarter court pickup.
Now Stanford led for 7.5 minutes in the first half here tonight. From the corner, a 3 splashed in. Hawkins having himself a nice night.
Well, it's a pick your poison situation if you're Stanford. You can't guard everything. They've elected to try and defend the paint or the rim. And as a result, Arizona does have some openings from long distance. Did Allen step out of bounds on the baseline? Not much daylight or room down there.
Kadeem Allen brings it across, the senior out of North Carolina. One-time National Junior College Player of the Year in Hutchinson, Kansas.
Allen, a real steadying influence. Good look to Ristich. Just not able to convert.
Think about the first half offensively for Arizona. Their top 2 scorers, Markkanen and Ristich, combined for 5 points. Pickens. Humphrey fighting for it. This is something that Jared Haas loves. You talk about the floor burns. And Allen, fortunately okay, as he crumpled up a little bit there.
And Humphrey continues his active approach this evening. On the glass, going after that loose ball.
Rare 3 from Humphrey. Allen the rebound. Humphrey leads Stanford in floor burns, a statistic that Jared Haas helped to create at Kansas as a player, and he has carried it over with him to Palo Alto.
You know, coaches have the hustle board. Deflections, diving on loose balls, taking charges.
A little chin fake by Trier and a foul on the floor. Second of the night for Pickens. Now we mentioned that Stanford, if they wanted a chance, they needed something offensively from Pickens, their second leading scorer. 9 points in the first half for the Phoenix native. Meanwhile, Arizona needs Lauri Markkanen to get something going.
I would imagine Arizona will try and attack the paint through both the bounce and post feeds.
Hawkins driving and finishing on the window.
This is where a good possession, if you're Stanford, is critical. Again, trying to prevent or limit those Arizona runs.
Backdoor to Travis. 7 to shoot. Knocked away by Markkanen. 3 in transition. Buried it. First points for Kadeem Allen. 8-0 Arizona run. As Allen spilled to the deck.
Sean Miller asking about that foul. Took the basket away from his Arizona team. It was a late whistle. It may have been a tie-up or a trip initially, but then Allen separated, was about to pick up the ball and either throw ahead or take it himself for a layup, and Sean Miller emphatic.
Now they flag Cartwright for the foul. As Stanford takes a timeout, Sean Miller is going to vent for a moment or two.
Hawkins, the strong drive. Kadeem Allen lines one up. Bottoms. Timeout.
Number 9, Arizona with a 9-point lead on top of Stanford here from inside the McHale Center. We'll take you back to New Year's Day. Arizona ranked number 18 at the time. Inside Maples against Stanford. Riley Alkins leading the Wildcats 19 points. Arizona going 10 of 14 from behind the arc. 91-52 win over Stanford. It was a thumping inside Maples. And you take a look here at what Jared Haas is trying to do. Snap one of the longest losing streaks in program history. They've dropped 14 in a row. Sean Miller 13-0 in his career against Stanford. Largest margin of victory at Stanford in Arizona program history, as you might imagine.
Arizona in the midst of an 8-0 run, trying to push it to 10.
Loose ball, covered by Humphrey. Here comes Christian Sanders. Humphrey had some big moments in the first half. A couple of two-hand dunks. Travis almost gets it knocked away by Aristich.
That's what Sanders does. Excellent post feeds. We've seen it on multiple occasions, both perimeter passing, but also into the bigs of Stanford where they can go to work. And he made that pass look easy, but it was precise and with purpose.
The feed to Markkanen. Follows the shot, foul. Now Reed Travis, such the identity for the Stanford Cardinals, now with 12 points, their leading scorer and a rebounder.
Well, watch the dime by Sanders, puts just enough air under it to lift it over the defense and spoon feed Travis for the finish.
Here in the second half from the desert. Well, on Saturday, a Big East basketball doubleheader on Fox tips off with Marquette taking on Georgetown at 11:30 Eastern. Then Josh Hart leads the 4th-ranked Wildcats against Trevon Blewett and the Musketeers. Big East basketball doubleheader Saturday coming up on Fox. On our triple header here tonight, Xavier taking down DePaul, and right before us, Seton Hall beating Providence in overtime. We take a look at the updated Big East standings. Number 2 Villanova still on top of things. Josh Hart with 25 points his last time out against Georgetown.
Yeah, Josh Hart, a National Player of the Year candidate and clearly the leader for the Big East Conference Player of the Year. Those teams in league that are sitting with 5 or 6 wins down the stretch, they've got to get to 10-8. And if you get to 10-8 in the Big East because the strength of the league, now your non-conference resume and body of work comes into play. All the mathematics, the metrics, the data that the selection committee will look at leading up to Selection Sunday. But you've got to get yourself to 10-8 in league play to even have the rest of your work come into play.
No, good point. Sheffield hanging. Travis trying to tip it, just keep it alive. Meanwhile, this has been another off night for Markkanen. It's on pace for his 3rd straight. Jackson Cartwright.
Well, a combination of factors. Freshmen do tend to hit the wall in February. Good take by Allen. Arizona able to recover. Again, the sideline pass and a block. Simmons able to use his length and just swatted the ball into seat 6, row 1 along the baseline.
Kadeem Allen with the pick. Dishing it away. How about this? Jackson Cartwright. Able to weave his way to the rim.
Yeah, the smallest man on the floor is able to find some daylight and put it down off the window.
Humphrey stepping back over Markkanen, too strong. So you were saying the freshman wall, Lab, for Markkanen.
Yeah, I'd say one is there's a bullseye on his chest as we take a look at him line one up. Just didn't come off those middle 3 fingers. Good look ahead, and Humphrey with the finish. The Cardinal in transition. Every time Arizona gets it to 9-10, looks as though they're going to run away with it. Stanford answers. A good trader quality to be able to counterpunch, to be resilient. So important in sports.
Simmons with a 3. And a foul will inbounds underneath the rim.
Well, oftentimes long shots act as outlet passes, and Allen looking up the floor right away. The vision and the ability to deliver to Humphrey. Running the floor, catches in stride, and finishes.
And including tonight, Markkanen 3 for his last 18.
And going back to freshmen, they often hit the wall in February just because of the heavy lifting that's involved, the difference from high school to college. Also, in the second half of league, people know tendencies, your strengths, your vulnerabilities. They're going to devise game plans that take away your strengths, and then you've got to be able to get to the counters. And like chess, have an answer. Coaching staff will help you with that as well in terms of how they deploy you.
Pickens, tough 3 in the corner. Verhoeven fighting, but it falls right to Trier. Arizona with numbers. Trier, hang time and through. Trier with a dozen, his first point since halftime. Pickens trying to float one through, right to Ristic.
Look at Arizona push. They want to get down the floor before the Stanford Cardinals set up their half-court defense. They've been more effective pushing the ball in transition than they have on the half-court.
Demansky with the right hand. Sheffield, who had 35 points in the conference opener against Arizona State. It's been a brief period of time when the starting lineup has been coming off the bench lately. Simmons wide open, gives it up all the way. Foul! He'll shoot 2.
Once again, the Wildcats pushing the ball in transition, A poor closeout by Verhoeven there. Didn't lower his center of gravity on that closeout. Therefore not able to slide the feet. Simmons takes it to the cup. Misses on the first of two from the free throw line.
Some whole line substitutions for Jared Hass and the Cardinal. Brings Michael Humphrey on. Sheffield gets a break on the bench, as does Grant Verhoeven, fifth-year senior.
Aaron, going back to the point about freshmen hitting the wall, the good news for Sean Miller is he has enough veterans. And with Trier returning just in time for the home stretch in Pac-12 play in the postseason, he can alleviate some of the pressure off this freshman class. And the hope is they get their second win as they step into the postseason.
Right now, Arizona enjoying its biggest lead of the night. This was a three-point game at halftime. Travis trying to find some daylight, and he does.
I just love the muscle, the power by Travis at his best. And using those broad shoulders, that wide base, and the ability to finish.
Ristic with a couple of fakes, gets and strips. Cartwright ahead to Allen, finishing with the right hand.
Allen is like a dart in transition. Water bug speed, what we call the beep beeper or the road runner. Stanford wisely putting Allen down the floor where they can throw ahead to him. You can use that speed and cutback ability to get an easy look.
You know, Lav, to a point you made a couple of times, right when Arizona stretches the lead to its largest of the night, Arizona answering, or pardon me, Stanford answering, now within 8 as a foul is called underneath the rim. So Stanford showing some more life here in the second half.
Well, the big wide body going to work, faces up Ristic, and just works his way to the rim for the weight room finish. Cartwright, the Pepper Pot Deluxe, a scrapper, throws it ahead to Allen, who finishes. Timeout.
Halls inside the gorgeous McHale Center here in Tucson. Number 9, Arizona on top. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Positive Coaching Alliance and its mission to develop better athletes and better people by working to provide all youth and high school athletes a positive character-building sports experience. Visit foxsportsupports.com to learn more. Along those lines, we say hello to the legend, Lute Olson, and his lovely wife, Kelly. And, of course, that 1997 title, Lav. If you look at who's on the bench right now for Stanford, Jared Hass's first year as the Cardinal head coach. It was a Sweet 16 loss for the Jayhawks and Coach Hass against Lute Olson in Arizona that helped propel the Wildcats to the national championship.
Well, a Hall of Famer, a terrific ambassador, a statesman for all of basketball, not just college, but every level. An outstanding teacher and impeccable. When you look at not only his ability to dress, right there with Cary Grant or George Clooney or David Niven, he was really the Jay Wright of his era in terms of having that Omar Sharif or Billy D. Williams ability with the threads. But how about 23 straight NCAA tournaments, 23 consecutive NCAA tournaments, 5 Final Fours.
I don't know, Lav, you named out so many well-dressed men. I'm having a hard time keeping up with you. Travis follows it up.
Once again, Stanford at point-blank range as well. And that's something that doesn't happen often here in McHale against an Arizona team. Because of the size they've had over the years in the front line, it's unusual to be able to get this many point-blank shots. At half, it was 20-8 in terms of points in the paint. Again, this is all created by Allen's ability to penetrate, which triggers help by Arizona, breaks down their triangle rebounding or their shell, the integrity of their defense, and allows that putback as a result.
Ray Travis, a game-high 16. Trier pulls up. And that was almost halfway down the net. Cartwright wants to set things back up. Allen curling, pulling up, and hitting.
Great possession. Jared Hass will clip that one, show it to his team. Good ball movement, screening, reversal.
Trier, little indecision there. Going to Stanford. We go back.
Well devised. A good pick by Travis, and Allen starting to get the pep in the step. More confidence, shooting at a bigger target now as a result of seeing the ball go through the net.
Well, Stanford beginning to field it a little bit. Trim the lead to 5. Travis foul.
Well, and that's been an effective set over the course of the evening for Stanford. Getting the elbow catch, letting Travis go to work. Attack off the bounce.
Ristic, the Wildcats' second leading scorer with as many points as fouls. 2 in both columns. Ristic, Alkins, Allen all out. A new trio coming in, led by Kobe Simmons. It's in the backside. Mark it in with the long arms, gets the rebound. Simmons, the McDonald All-American. Coming off the bench here tonight as Trier made his first start. Trier baseline and a block foul. Stanford, of course, pleading for the charge. That's the third on Humphrey.
Appeared to be good defense. Humphrey giving ground. Trier initiates the contact now with the new point of emphasis in terms of limiting physicality. The tie base goes to the offensive player. In other words, when in doubt, defense penalized, offense rewarded. That's a top-down philosophy or approach throughout college basketball, mandated by the heads of officiating in college basketball.
7 fouls now, Arizona in the bonus. As Trier backs both free throws, he's got 14 points here tonight. Trier gets a breather. Kadeem Allen back on the floor.
See if they go back to the same sets.
Humphrey trying to find some ground. Couple of fakes. Travis trying to follow up. And a whistle blows.
Yeah, good backside triangle. In basketball, you either have a 2-man game or you've got 3 players involved. And this is a triangle game, just putting it down low. Humphrey not able to finish, but again, the help that he draws or attracts from the front line of Arizona allows Travis to slide in there, secure a rebound, and get himself to the foul line.
Well, nothing more than a quick water break for Trier back on the floor. Travis now at 19 to lead all scorers tonight.
You see this Stanford team growing in confidence. Very active in this zone, talking, pointing, communicating.
Under 9 minutes to play. Stanford, after coming off the big win on Saturday at home against Utah, showing something here tonight in the desert as Comanche gets fouled. And for Humphrey, that's his 4th foul. And we'll have a substitution. Grant Verhoeven getting ready to check in for the Cardinal. Humphrey with 8 points tonight. Chance Comanche has more points tonight than Lowry Markkanen and Dusan Ristic combined. Humphrey in foul trouble.
Well, that zone defense has been effective on a number of fronts for Stanford. It's limited Arizona's dribble penetration. As a result, they're in rotation less often. It's led to less open three-point shots by the Cats. And it's also allowed Stanford to keep their bigs at home, blanketing Arizona's bigs, so there's less openings for them. And when your bigs are at home, it allows you to rebound. They've held their own tonight on the boards.
Travis vehemently doubled, but a foul. Second on Chance Comanche.
quick early help. Travis reads, tries to use the bounce. Not much contact, but again, this is the new point of emphasis. Fans unhappy, but the reality is the officials are calling the game the way they've been instructed to. You listen to your boss.
Allen wide open with the flush. Having himself a night, 13 points.
Well, Allen again using that roadrunner speed, covers a lot of territory or real estate on the basketball floor with that one bounce, taking it from behind the three-point line and jamming it home. Effective footwork. That's called purposeful use of the bounce. So often a player will take 2 or 3 extra dribbles and allows the defense to recover.
Offensive foul. That's on Allen. Well, how about Marcus Allen? 13 points tonight. Last time he was in McHale Lab, he dropped 16, having himself an evening.
Turning the corner. Up, up, and away. Where's his cape? Send it in. Timeout. It's
on 55-51, number 9 Arizona leading Stanford with under 8 to play. Reed Travis, a rebound shy of a double-double lab, 19 points, 9 boards.
Well, a low post player that's built like a Sherman tank or a Mack truck, and the weight room strength paying off here in McHale's. You see him continue to navigate to the rim and just muscle is what's at work. Think about this number, 32-14 right now. Stanford the advantage in the paint. And when you control the paint, it's the equivalent of controlling the line of scrimmage in football. The number of good things that happen when you're productive at point-blank range means you're getting to the foul line, you get opponents in foul trouble, you shoot high percentage looks, you're deployed to get second shots if you miss, and also defenses have to honor that, and that opens up the perimeter. So across the board, having the Sherman tank or the Mack truck and Travis gives Stanford a real edge.
He's at it again with the left hand, and Comanche rips down the rebound. Arizona trying to lengthen a slim 4-point lead.
Even against a zone, you can investigate or probe interior looks like this.
Interior foul.
So often when teams attack a zone, they'll get stagnant, Aaron, and they don't get the ball movement or man movement. They don't look to post up within that zone, and they don't look to attack into the teeth of the defense with purposeful dribble. That's what Alonzo Trier did. After quick movement, he was able to get himself to the rim off the bounce.
Trier now with 15. Well, Lav, if you're Jared Haas right now, Travis with 3 fouls, all coming in the second half. He's the most dominant player on the floor for Stanford. You got to stick with him with 7:30 left to play?
Absolutely. Continue to play through him, get him touches. It doesn't mean he has to shoot the ball every time, but the positives that will come from his touches far outweigh the negatives.
Cartwright to Travis with a head of steam. The spin to touch.
Well devised coming out of the timeout by Jared Haas, hitting all the right buttons from the sideline, orchestrating tonight, both in preparation. There's the steal by Cartwright. Again, the Pepper Pot Deluxe in transition, opportunistic, running into that passing lane on a lazy pass with little velocity.
His first points, a pick 6. Sean Miller demands a timeout. The lead cut to 2.
Well, a scrappy Stanford team, spirited performance, a nice slip of the ball screen, using the foot speed to get to the rim for an easy bucket by Travis. And here comes the Pepper Pot, the Scrapper Deluxe. Cartwright, timeout.
57-55. Arizona hanging on by its fingernails with just under 7 to play. Loose ball, controlled by Stanford. They can tie or take the lead. Josh Sharma on the floor now for the first time for Stanford here in the second half.
And that was a good idea to try and get the ball into wristage. Just not executed well in terms of the pass. I don't know if Ozzie Smith could have picked up that pass.
9 to shoot. Cartwright pulling up. Too high off the glass. Trier all the way, trying to go coast to coast, and he's fouled.
Again, Aaron, 3 ways to try and beat the zone. Number 1, beat it down the floor before it gets set up. Number 2, try and hit the high post or short corner where you can attack the interior of that zone defense. And number 3, when a shot goes up, try and get a second shot opportunity, because in a zone, you don't have pinpointed man-to-man responsibilities. Therefore, there are opportunities to play volleyball on the glass.
Touched by Trier. Alkins coming back on the floor. It was Riley Alkins who was here on his recruiting trip when the 49-game home winning streak was snapped last year to the hands of the Oregon Ducks. Wildcats have won 67 of their last 68 at home. Sean Miller has helped to build, with the help of this crowd, one of the great home court advantages in the nation. And everybody now on their feet. Trying to get into Travis. Last touch, Arizona.
Well, good post defense, 3 quarters by Arizona. That's where Stanford may have to reverse the ball and try and get it inside from the other side of the floor. Elbow catches have been effective as well.
Tipped, controlled by Cartwright. Travis finds some daylight off the glass. What a night he's having. He's got 23.
Well, there's that elbow catch again, well deployed, where he can use his skill set and drive the ball against the slower Arizona defenders.
Alkins at 3 in the corner, and it falls right to Ristich. Trying to go back up. First field goal made by Arizona since nearly the 13-minute mark.
Well, there's that offensive rebounding opportunity against his own. Ristich taking advantage of the size.
Sheffield pulls up. Sharma fighting for it. He's over the back.
Again, Travis gets the catch right there at the high post area and just takes it hard to his left off the window. And then here, Ristich able to protect the ball, keep it in the safe deposit box, and then put it down off the glass. Easy bucket for Ristich.
Jared Hass and the Cardinal called timeout. Just under 5 minutes to play. And we will step aside. This has turned out to be a beauty from the desert. 61-57, just under 5 to play. Want to hang it on with under 5 to play. Take it on Stanford. Well, beginning tomorrow, next 17 days, we've got 7 games amongst the top 5 teams in the conference. And it begins with number 5 Oregon at Pauley, number 10 UCLA. Remember, it was the Bruins to begin conference play in Eugene. Dylan Brooks with nearly the buzzer beater to win it for the Ducks. But look at this schedule coming up. We're going to be treated to some fine games.
Well, a smorgasbord, or like a great playlist on your iPod.
Who uses an iPod anymore, lad? Come on.
I'm old school. I still got the cassette tapes.
You got the 80 gigabyte one?
I got my Beach Boys cassette tapes. Jim Croce. 8-track. I'm a dinosaur, Aaron. You're a young up-and-comer, a whippersnapper.
A pepper pot, if you will.
You're kind of a hipster.
Comanche with 8 now. His last 4 points coming from the stripe.
This game tonight is why the Pac-12 conference is so strong. This adversity training is what prepares you for the postseason. Waxing opponents by 40 does not prepare you for the NCAA tournament. Problem solving, resistance, finding ways to win, every possession counting, that's what prepares you for March.
Allen stepping through, going up and under. Travis fouled. It's through and it counts.
Again, dribble penetration by Stanford. Clearly they came in with a game plan, and Allen has the speed. We've seen it time and time again to maneuver his way through Arizona, multiple defenders, and that allows the bigs to slide in for those second chance opportunities. Travis, the beneficiary of Allen's penetration.
26 points on Saturday against Utah for Travis, another 26 now here tonight.
And converting from the foul line, critical as well. On the road, got to take advantage of every opportunity.
Markkanen, who gets a touch. We have hardly said his name in the second half, Lav. Pulls up, gives up the three to take a long two, and that is well off the mark.
And right now he's thinking, and once you start to think in basketball, you're in trouble. It's a game that's instinctive. It's about a flow and being able to read and react to split-second changes on the floor. And you could tell he's thinking.
Offensive foul, and it's the other way.
Well, good defense by Allen. Just sliding the feet, took it right on the chest, the sternum. That's the glory statistic. Taking a charge, put your body in the line of a player that's driving to the hoop. What a game on both sides of the ball that Allen has had tonight.
Stanford can tie. We approach the 4-minute mark. Why not? Back to Travis. Deep, straightaway two. Hawkins pulls down the rebound and brings it across. Remember, Lauri Markkanen on New Year's Day, that 39-point win at Maples against Stanford. He did not miss a shot.
Markkanen trying to screen the top of that 2-3 zone just to distort it.
And a foul called on top of the arc. 63-60. This one is looking like it's going to come down to the wire as Dorian Pickens, Alonzo Trier. What a fine one we've got here from the desert. By 3, just under 4 minutes to play. Here from inside McHale Center, Aaron Goldsmith, Steve Lavin. Happy you can join us for the final minutes here from the desert. And we've talked, Lav, about the home record for Arizona. Last 4 seasons, they are the only program in the nation with only 1 loss at home. Iowa State taking down Kansas and Lawrence. So 64-1 for Sean Miller the last 4 seasons here at home.
Great coaches, great players, great fans, and all of it in a great league. And that's when you get numbers that are as staggering as 64-1.
Markkanen's first point, should I say, since halftime. He only has 4 tonight.
But it's an important one. As a player, we talked about thinking. Sometimes you get pretzeled, paralyzed, or stymied. Paralysis from analysis, we call it. Instead of just playing with the pep in the step when you first picked up the ball as a youngster and bring enough of that forward, even to the adverse conditions of playing at the highest levels of basketball. But seeing that ball go through the net twice for Markkanen could help him down the stretch here.
A travel.
Tough one. I'd like to see less traveling calls in college basketball. I know we've tried to create, less physicality by the way we're officiating. The defense on the ball and the block charge, but also less travels could go a long way to help in the game.
Trier spots up from the wing. And a foul as Ristich fouls Verhoeven over the back.
Well, that zone defense continuing to pay dividends because it deploys the Stanford bigs. You see Verhoeven with inside position. Not only does it keep your bigs at home, you're less foul prone when you're in the zone defense as well. And your guards are out front in position to convert to offense and run their lane. So it also sets up your fast breaks. Jim Boeheim at Syracuse, right? Success for decades with his own defense. A lot of positives. Gets a bad rap at times. But if it's played well, it could be very effective as a defense. Keep in mind, the Oregon Ducks play zone defense. So this is 2 consecutive games where Sean Miller's Wildcats have faced predominantly zone defenses. And this will help them in terms of how to attack and learn to distort zone defenses to get more effective looks at the basket.
Verhoeven cuts the lead to 3. 3 fouls on Ristich now as he gets the entry pass with Travis on him. Verhoeven fighting, gets to Travis.
Boy, Verhoeven there came up limping, but
you're right, he's still limping.
It could hurt them when they go to the other end in terms of transition defense.
They double up Travis. Pickens with 10 to shoot, almost picked up. Pickens for the tie, and he got it!
Well, the gamble by Arizona leads to the open 3.
First points for Pickens since halftime. Trier gives it up, and a foul underneath the rim. We go back to the Pickens rebound.
Well, there's the flyby where the gamble allows Allen to get into the lane, trigger help, and then wisely kicks out Pickens on the money. Buttery touch from distance. And Stanford just has been alert, aggressive, cohesive, tied together both offensively and defensively throughout. And they just wouldn't go away. Every time it looked as though the Wildcats were about to throw the knockout punch, this Stanford team would charge back in a spirited manner, but also intelligence on display in terms of the choices they're making offensively.
Trier has knocked down all 10 free throws. That's half his points. He leads the Wildcats with 20 and gives Arizona a 2-point lead. Pickens for the lead. Humphrey offensive rebound. In the lane, Allen right off the glass.
Well, what a pocket pass by Humphrey. Drops a dime to the cutting Allen. Beautiful 2-man basketball. Playing in pairs or a tandem.
Under 2 minutes. Markkanen trying to find something, and he does! Timeout, Sean Miller.
Well, Sean Miller wants to set his defense. We talked about it, Aaron. Markkanen makes those 2 free throws. His next open shot from the deep corner. But first, let's take a look at this rebound by Humphrey and then the presence of mind to deliver the pass to the cutting Allen for the deuce. Good ball reversal around the horn, velocity passing, and Markkanen with that Emerald City green light continues to launch rockets from distance. It's nice when you have a coach that believes in you, has confidence in you, and tells you to keep putting them up.
I was going to say, Lab, for a freshman to have that kind of confidence, we've documented tonight the struggles this evening, the last 2 nights as well, to knock down that big of a 3, that tough of a spot on the floor with about 90 seconds left in a tight game.
A lot of poise, a lot of confidence. Both these coaches as well demonstrating poise.
Did not miss a shot on New Year's Day in Palo Alto. Pickens penetrating, tough shot. Loose ball, controlled by Arizona.
See if Arizona goes through the paint. Either a post touch for one of the bigs or dribble penetration off a high ball screen against this zone.
Under a minute. Allen has it not free. 5 to shoot, he controls. Markkanen, loose ball, controlled by the Cardinals. A 3 to tie.
Plenty of time. You don't need to get a 3, but they need to get into their offense here sooner. Initiate. Elbow catch again for Travis.
Travis taking it off the mark.
Now they'll have to foul. And both these coaches on the sidelines have been impressive for different reasons. Sean Miller, coming off that loss, could have blown his top, lost his cool, started to get uptight, but he has stayed calm throughout as his team has struggled. And Jared Haas could have been over the top in terms of enthusiasm. And he's maintained a very calm demeanor along the sideline. I think that's benefited both these teams. A well-played game because their teams are extensions of their coach's personality.
Last 9 points for Alonzo Trier have come from the stripe. And in a close ball game, he is 12 for 12 from the free throw line.
Free throws have been big late for Arizona.
Allen backing down. Pickens fading away, deep three. And Comanche controls it with 12 seconds left. Humphrey has to foul. That's it for Michael Humphrey. He's done for the night. 5 fouls. The junior from Phoenix done for the night with 8 points.
A tremendous effort by Humphrey as his father, Tim, looks on. And the entire Stanford team to be commended. Their coaching staff in terms of preparation and game planning, going with that zone defense, packing the lane, forcing Arizona to try and beat them over the top. And then offensively, Stanford going inside, where they dominated the points in the paint this evening. And some timely shooting as well. Good alignments by the Cardinal. And Arizona not at their best, Aaron, and yet finding a way to win, and that's what great teams have to do.
Sheffield a three. Trier pulls it down, and Arizona survives. Wildcats improved to 11-1, 25 for 29 from the free throw line.
Well, an impressive Stanford Cardinal performance. Arizona able to put that Oregon loss in the rearview mirror. Found a way to win. And now they can look ahead to try and finish it strong.
Arizona's 15th straight win against Stanford. Their 19th consecutive win here at home. 74-67. What a game here from the desert for Steve Lavin and our entire crew. I'm Aaron Goldsmith. So glad you could join us. Coming up next, Fox Sports Live with Jay and Dan.